6 at Almost 5. It is 10 past 8. You are having Bruce Lee's for breakfast morning to you. And on the telephone I have Noel Laidlaw. I could call you an old mate, couldn't I?
Oh, after about 20 years, I suppose we could call ourselves old mate.
Yeah. And you're resident in Carisbrook, and you're a committee member of the Rail Revival Alliance. Sounds very grand.
It is a grand group of people, as nice a group of people as I've ever worked.
Yeah, you're a little bit biased. Now, the Victorian State Government produced a report earlier this year on bringing back passenger train services in regional Victoria, more particularly between Bendigo, Castlemaine, Maryborough, Ballarat and Geelong. The report came up that to do this, the cost would be between $760 million to $935 million, which pretty much priced it out of contention. Now, you and others have taken this up and disagree.
We have. I'm an engineer by profession, Bruce, as you know, and when I saw the report came out, the report arose out of an election commitment by the Minister, Terry Mulder, or the Shadow Minister at the time, that he was going to investigate this, which, you know, was very, very good at the time, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people supported him on the basis of that. He puts the study out to the good old consultants, charge him $2 million, and they come up with a couple of telephone book numbers, really. And as I say, I'm an engineer. I read through it and I said, this is quite pie in the sky. This is silly stuff, you know.
So you reckon that the brief might have been, hey, you know, make the sky the limit because we really don't want to do this?
That would be very uncharitable to believe that, but there's certainly lots of people around who say that. I'll just say that the Minister gave him the brief, and he might have been equally surprised when they came up with the numbers that they were. So I sat down, and I didn't do a $2 million report, unfortunately, Bruce. I had nobody to fund that, but I sat down, did some numbers, and produced a little report that we circulated around. And with a slightly more modest approach to things, I reckon we can do it for between $80 and $100 million.
Because railway lines and railway stations are expensive. I mean, the Clunes, for instance, already had a railway station, but to get that going again, there was pretty much a substantial rebuild to take in today's technology and health and safety and the like. Is Carisbrook Railway Station, for instance, and I know you're particularly interested in that because you live in Carisbrook, I mean, can you call that really an asset now?
Look, to be quite honest, Bruce, I'm one of the things that I put in my report was to say, let's forget about railway stations. They're lovely things, and the beautiful work they've done over at Maryborough is a fantastic thing. It's got a UN prize recently over it. But all we really need is a bus stop on a platform, like what they're just building over at Talbot. And, you know, if we want to restore the railway station and make that for the community, as they're doing in a lot of places, that's fine. But these things were built for steam trains 100 years ago. They're too low. They haven't got health and safety, the right sort of lighting and seating and all the rest of it. So we say, forget the railway stations. Let's just build a new platform, which is much cheaper than trying to reconstruct old buildings. And you know, in Carisbrook, for example, you'd have to dig out the line for 600 millimetres and drop the line so that there wouldn't be too big a gap between the station and the train. So let's start from scratch. Railway stations, historical, heritage stuff, fantastic, but let's put it in this work. Let's do that as part of another program. Okay.
Now, the railway lines themselves, now, in the areas that we've been talking about, Bendigo, Castlemaine, Maryborough, Ballarat and Geelong, are there still lines there? Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, and everybody who's listening will know that the service between Castlemaine and Bendigo is a terrific service, an hourly service, basically. The report suggested they needed to spend $230 million just on the Castlemaine Bendigo section, which, you know, was a fair amount of money for an existing high-speed rail line. Would have thought so, yes.
You would have thought so. So our suggestion is that we terminate our trains at Castlemaine. The line between Castlemaine and Maryborough is in pretty awful state, particularly after the floods. But putting down railway lines is not actually all that big a drama, really. It's only steel and sleepers and some rock, and it's while it's very long, it's not all that expensive per kilometre. And that would have to be redone, and the stations at Newstead and Carisbrook, the new platforms put in, and a new platform at
Caught you. Yeah, well, don't worry. Another one anyway.
Another one at Guildford.
Oh, yes.
Because there's a big Guildford community there who are very supportive of this.
Yeah. Now, I happen to know that also that the specs for the railway line that they priced are what you would consider above the requirement. In other words, let's use slower trains.
We're talking about using. We've modelled it on the current Ballarat to Maryborough service, which runs at 80 kilometres an hour. Averages 80 kilometres an hour. Now, this thing that they've proposed would have averaged over 100 kilometres an hour. But for that extra 20 kilometres an hour, there was about $800 million extra. And you say, well, is that really money well spent?
Yeah, I could tell that you'd be handy when it comes to extensions on the house, being able to whittle down a budget.
Oh, I'm a Laidlaw, it is Scottish. So.
Well, I know that you're keen to.
I'll just say, so we get to Maryborough. The Maryborough to Ballarat line is operating now. There's trains running there, passenger trains, and the line from Ballarat to Geelong is in very good condition, and there would be a couple of stations needed to be put in there. So if you sort of chop it down to that, it's money. It's not cheap, but it's not quite as dear as what was proposed.
Well, you've done a report. Are people seriously looking at it at Public Transport Victoria or the government? We
actually presented the report to Community Cabinet in Bendigo in August, I think, and we were very well received. The Minister was very pleased to get a sort of a second opinion, and he's taken it back to his department to reassess it. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything back.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yes, Minister comes to mind here.
Yeah, well, that's right. And, we've invited the Minister to come to our rally on Sunday.
Well, that was my next point. You've got a rally coming up?
We have. We've got a rally at the Carisbrook Railway Station on this Sunday. That's the 8th of December at 2 p.m.
Well, it's obvious that to get this ahead, you've got to have some public support, maybe a few petitions, and because unless there's more than just the committee supporting this, it won't get ahead. And I just wish you well for this rally. Now, it's this Sunday, 2 o'clock. At the Carisbrook train station. It'd be good to visit the train station anyway and have a look.
It would be, and you know what the slogan of the group is?
What?
Let's put the shine back on the rail.
I like that. I like that indeed. Noel, we have run out of time because we've got to play our morning mystery music, but it's been great to talk to you and look forward to catching up, talk about the progress.
Very good. Thank you, Bruce.
Cheers for now.